Hey, what's going on, y'all? I hope everybody's having a blessed and prosperous week. I hope it's everything that you're expecting. If you aren't expecting anything, then try expecting something. All right, so I wanted to come and it's kind of like a testimonial video. I don't know what you want to really call it, but I'm going to title it Going from Victim to Victor. Okay, so one of the struggles that I faced is a lot of times the way that I would approach a situation would be I would approach it with the victim mentality. And what a victim mentality is a person that looks at a situation and sees them as being a victim of it. Basically, to look at it in a sense of, why is this happening? I can't believe this happened. Why would this or this person do this to me or this and that? And it's all this dialogue with woe is me. You feel what I'm saying? So I would adapt to that, but then I start really considering some things. Who is really talking when I'm taking upon that thought process of why would that happen to me or why would they do this to me? And it's not really me, it's really my ego. My ego is a lot of times we don't get our feelings hurt or we don't get hurt. Our egos get hurt and bruised. So a lot of times the ego will stand up and be like this, oh, woe is me and this and that. And sometimes we put ourselves on pedestals where we think things like that can't happen to us. But it's kind of like the, who told you that? You feel what I'm saying? Like, they killed Jesus. So it's like, what makes you think that you from Fort Worth, Texas, that somebody's not gonna do something to you? So it's kind of like this switching that to say, basically, how can this help me? How is this helping me to grow? How is this helping me to see things the way that I need to see them? Nothing in life, and I mean nothing in life, happens for no reason. So there's always something that can be learned, and you just don't just go through stuff, you grow through it. So a lot of times we don't take, and for myself, I would look at different events that kind of transpired in my life and things like that. And one key common denominator was myself, and I realized that even in situations where I can view them as I wasn't in the wrong or I got the bad end of the stick, you placed yourself in these situations. You answered the phone calls. You responded to the text messages. You went to these events that you knew you weren't going to have a good time. You knew these people really don't care for you and this and that, but you chose to go, even though you knew deep down inside what it was. So it's a lot of stuff that we are lying to ourselves because we are playing the story of what we hope to happen or what we hope to believe, but there's a lot of stuff that we know that we ignore. I read a book this was last year, and one of the questions that they asked was, how many things do we honestly know that we pretend that we don't, or we ignore that we really know? And if there was a chance where if it was, let's say it was a 900-pound person that they had a gun to their head. I know this is extreme and it's kind of dark, but they had a gun to their head and somebody said, how can you lose this weight? Honestly speaking, if their life depended on it, I believe that they would be able to say, I would diet, I would go on, I can go get a tummy tuck, there would be a million different ways of how to do this. If somebody said how to, maybe their spouse is about to walk out the door, they're gonna think of different ways of how to fix this thing. We know what to do, it's just the problem of actually doing it. And so with the victim mentality, it's kind of like you can't be upset with the outcomes if you're putting yourself into them. If there's people that don't mean you no well or don't mean you no good, then why do you continue to be around them? If it's events or it's things that you're seeing constantly, and it's not the illusion or the story that we're telling ourselves, but what is the actual reality? I think a lot of times, even in relationships, that we can get so desperate for love that we ignore that we're really not enjoying the experience that we're in. So it's a contradiction. So it's kind of like you have to get to a point where you stop being this victim and start being a victor and be victorious and be strategic with the things in your life, with where you go, what you respond to, how you act, how you live, how you dress. Everything that you desire is in your hands. You are the director of your own life. So you can go from being a victim to a victor at any moment that you choose by saying, at this moment, at this time, it's going to be something different.